Well, good morning, folks. We're here on the 28th, the morning thereof, January 2025, corner of Broadway and Kensington. Take a little cruise through this neighborhood here a second this morning. See a little colorful Christmas lighting still up here at the end of January. A little bit of Detroit Lions action going on here too. By the way it looks. Yeah, that's very nice. Detroit Lions, so forth. All right. We'll get going here up the up this winding trail. We're just a couple of blocks from the famous Parkland Village area. We've seen future videos, Frank Lloyd Wright homes and so forth. There's a Amityville horror home. Maybe we can get the eyes right there. Oh, yeah, kind of. That design is fairly common. Just as that darn movie screwed up the architecture. Now every time, at least myself, and I know tons of thousands of other people, see that type of thing, they think, oh my gosh, the flies, the little pig, and everything else. These people here have a old dead pine tree in their yard with straps all around it, strapping it onto the big tree that's alive, so the little tree don't, the dead pine tree don't fall over. Who knows why they won't cut it down? You can tell by the age of the homes that are built along here, a lot of 50s and 60s right through here. 1950s and 60s. Here's some real icicles. What does that tell you about the roof there on both sides of the door all the way to the ground? Yeah. You look in that attic and you may need some of that pink insulation up in there. Blow that cellulose in there or something. They're losing a lot of money out of their roof back there. It's not what Frank Lloyd Wright wanted. He wanted flat roofs. And we're about to enter Parkland Village right here, as you can see. Now, sometimes you have to wonder what people are thinking. Okay, when you have weather conditions like we have here, and as much snow, especially as what we used to get, bowling alley roofs, of course, were flat. They would collapse. Snow would build up on them. They'd have a bowling alley collapse once in a while. Industrial buildings, sometimes the big flat roofs would be a pain, okay, and so forth. But man, this is not the place for flat roofs, but because of industry and a lot of other things, here's the second entrance right here to Parkland Rock here. You know, they just build them that way. There are people that have to get up on these flat roofs with snow blowers and blow all the snow off the roofs, or they will collapse. It's a fact. There's all kinds of issues with flat roofs. Now, in this weather conditions, now you get up or out west California, places that they don't have these type of issues. You can get away with flat anything. One of the Frank Lloyd Wright homes right back here. And all along here. I'll show you one of them that I've been in several years ago, about 2006 or 2007. Went inside and spoke with these people that live in the one right here. Pretty cool. But yeah, the flat roof does have its place, but I don't care for one. I know the problems with the leaking, the water, the whole thing. Now, here's some deer right here standing in the driveway of a beautiful Wright-styled home, Usonian. Some more deer right here. They're all over the place, deciding where they're gonna go today. Yeah, the flat roof just doesn't get it for me. I know the maintenance of these things and the weather conditions. Our family has owned, in our family business, buildings, 30,000 square foot, 40,000 square foot, all flat roofs. Man, you have a handful with them. Some people say, I've never had any problem with mine. It's best thing going and everything else. Well, you've had good luck. Someone there's using a roof rake. See it right there in the corner. Maybe we can hold on a second, take a better look at that. There you go, right there. See how they're taking a roof rake. You can see the blue head on it, the handle. They've been raking off the edges of the roof so it doesn't leak into the house. Okay, pretty cool. Yes, the tales of woe of the flat roof. One building that my father purchased from a large commercial print shop. The owners were retiring and they sold us the whole shooting match. All the equipment and the building, the real estate. We bought it all. And it had a flat roof. And we cleaned out the building, we marketed the machinery and sold it. And everything's looking good. We were making a little profit. And then we put the building up for sale, and of course the inspectors, we had it inspected before we put it up for sale, and had roof issues. I think that was around $80K, about $80,000 to put a roof on, a flat roof on that building. I think it was about 30,000 square feet, that particular one. Once in a while, my father, we'd sell machinery, graphic arts machinery, printing presses, offset presses, letter press, bindery, the whole thing. And once in a while, the printer would sell us the whole ball of wax, my dad would call it. The real estate, the building, and all the contents. And sometimes, my dad was an auctioneer, a licensed auctioneer, and sometimes he would have a little auction. Sometimes we just plain simple market the machinery and sell it, be able to demo it right on the floor before it was disconnected and rigged out of there. Some of it large, 30 or 40,000 pounds altogether. Get all the sections. Anyways, that's what we did. My dad did for 50 years. My brothers and I were all in the business with him. But yeah, I remember Dad coming to me and telling me, and my dad rarely ever cursed. I mean, rarely ever. But that day right there, he was a little bit upset. The inspectors came back and let him know that we needed some attention up on that roof. And then the companies came in for the bids, and the lowest bid was about $80K. Well, when we sold the business, we sold the building business. We sold that real estate to an entity of the city of Kalamazoo. And I can remember, after everything was said and done, and all the money that we had invested in the whole thing, and the sale of the building, several $100,000 on that, the machinery and everything else, I can remember Dad sitting down and saying, "Damn it, Ed." And I said, "What's wrong?" Because he cussed. And he said, "We made about $15,000 on this whole deal." I said, $15,000 on that? Oh, well, what, are you kidding? And he goes, "Nope, but there's a check still coming for one of the machines." And that check came. I think that was about $22,000. So we made about 40 grand after all expenses and everything else on that property, and all the work and everything we had to go through, that flat roof and everything. And that was it. My dad, he lost his taste for it right there. He worked so hard like that, and times were changing, the economy was changing, and man, you know, we were lucky to get out of it with that after looking back on things. And as the economy continued to change, we were very lucky that we were able to sell all the machinery and export some of it and so forth. We'd export machinery. We sold machinery basically all over the Americas. I've done business in South America, Central America, a lot of business out of Honduras over the years. And we kept perfect books. And when the books were closed and the company dissolved, when my father retired and so forth, the books were zeroed out. The government didn't owe us anything. We didn't owe them anything. It was a great way to part company and business. And that was that. My father's now deceased, and my mother as well, and those are all things that we were doing, my gosh, almost 25 years ago now, when that ended. That was my last dealing with flat roofs. And it was one of, and I think possibly the last time I ever heard my dad cuss. So I guess if you got a cuss, doing it over one of those damnable flat roofs is a good reason. Thanks, Dad. Thanks, Mom, for everything that you did for myself and my brothers. We certainly miss you. I know I'm speaking for my brothers too. Haven't seen them in years. Maybe they'll come around. Maybe they'll see this video. Decide to make themselves available. At least just to say hi. Or whatever. All right. I got to get out of here. Birthdays to handle in the next couple days. Yes, I had my heart dinner, my chicken hearts last night. They were fantastic. I have them about 2 or 3 times a year, and it just happened. It was good timing. It was my birthday, and my daughter brought that package fresh, not frozen, right from a nice grocery store here in Kalamazoo that specializes in fresh cuts. It's a little bit of a dicey part of town. I particularly do not like to go there. I can't trust my vehicle being parked where you have to park it. It's just the way it is. But my daughter went down there and took the chance, and good for her. Thank you very much, Joss. Taking care of your old man with a heart. No pun intended. Next year, maybe it'll be one of them big old Tommy Hawk steaks. I couldn't do that. I couldn't spend $45 or $50 on a steak. I feel too bad. See too many people out there. I could take that $40 or $50 and I could give each one of the people a $10 meal. I'm gonna feed 5 people for that. And I know, even though it's a special event, it's your birthday or whatever, or anniversary, you know, whatever. But I'm just not one to celebrate with big ticket food items when I have others on my mind. So that's just the way I am. Some people say, Ed, you're foolish. What the hell? Go have what you want. You know, it's your day. It's this, it's this, that. Well, okay, then it's my birthday wish that I do not do that. Instead, I have $4.50 worth of fresh chicken hearts and love them. And I didn't have to give anyone a tip. I've got a tip for you. My tip is, please leave tips. I thank the president for the putting forth the hand in untaxing tips for the servers. But Michigan has something else going. They have another bee in their bonnet. I'm still trying to figure that one out. When I do, I'll let you know. Something's going on with the wages here for restaurant workers, and I don't know. Before I say anything, I want to really know what it's all about first. Looks like, and what people are saying, it's against the workers, and so forth in this state. We've heard it before. Anything that's against a restaurant worker, server, maintenance person, the person sweeps and mops the floors, so forth, back of the house people, my hat's off to you. I want you to get every darn dollar that you can get. Certainly pay your appropriate taxes on normal income. But yeah, those tips are between you and the patron. We go to a cashless society. They'll have to work that one out. I would not look forward to a cashless society. I do not mind my debit card, but there's cash backing that up. What little there is, there could be more. All right, I'm gonna pass the little transport ambulance here. Head on into the home 20 area. I blabbed enough here this morning. Sorry if I pissed anybody off that loves flat roofs, or that's your game. Then you should know what I'm talking about. This is the other branch of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. That's a Community of Christ. They broke off from the LDS years ago. I'm not quite sure exactly if it was that they didn't believe when President Woodruff commanded that there'd be no more polygamy and some other things. I think that maybe they said no, or that they believe there should something to do with all that. They broke away, and they own part of Nauvoo down in Illinois, but now I understand they're selling all this, that the Community of Christ is supposedly failing, and they have sold the first temple that the Mormons built in New York. They'd been holding on to that since the Mormons left New York, and they have since sold it back to the church, other properties, and it looks like that they are, from what one bishop had told me, a Mormon bishop, that the Community of Christ were failing financially. And so I go by that building that I just showed you there on Sundays every now and then, and there's maybe 10 cars in the parking lot. By the way, this brick home right here, the red one, is the oldest home in the Oakwood neighborhood. It is the oldest home. Talked to the historian, told me all about it. I'm going to have some more talks with him. Wealth of knowledge. All right. My knowledge and minuscule wealth is going to go back home and go to bed for a while. Pull it down here around Edgewood and head back home. They're gutting this home out right here. They're redoing the whole inside. Gut it right out. And I was there 2 years ago when they had a yard sale, an estate sale, and it needed a little help then. Got some more deer up here, crossing Der Strasse. Das ist the roe deer? No, it's not roe deer. German roe deer are half the size of Michigan whitetails. They're just little puppy dogs. I used to see them running all around there in Germany, especially at Grafenwehr, a training area. Them roe deer and them big old boar hogs. There she goes. Big old boar hogs out rooting around at night outside your tent or whatever you're sleeping. Yeah, it's a real experience. They have a full-size elk over there too. I call them a hart. They remind me of more of a hart than an elk. That's what's on the Jägermeister bottle. You'll see that deer there. Well, I think that's a hart. As the hart panteth after the water brook, so my soul panteth after the Lord. I think that's the verses. All right. A lot of hearts today. Wow. Have a heart. Be kind to folks out there. We'll see you in the next one.